For years and years, I predicted where they're going to go with this and how they're far too immature to correct their mistake. One measure of someone is how well you correctly estimate your enemies. Every step of the way, I had them pegged, nailed accurately, while they don't know who the fuck they're dealing with. Which form of life do you think is superior? First of all, the falcon vision is superior to the old goat, the old fool, the foolish builder, the ancient serpent, the devil, who in his own story ends up the loser, the biggest loser there ever was. So the first point is falcon vision. The second point is sparring and seeing the spirit, right? Spar at spirit. The falcon, because of its flying at 242 miles an hour, diving with surgical precision. It sees the spirit more effectively is the martial art argument being made, and it's faster and it's the master. One measure of someone is their ability to understand that it is stupid to pretend that the top martial artist would be anything other than a black person. And what type of black person? Does not righteousness and justice make one fight better? And righteousness and justice in reality. Because if you trick the brain to live in a state of fantasy and psychology, the brain is functioning less effectively. The people who come from a long line of that, Greek mysteries, Babylonian, etc., they don't have a chance. They don't have a chance to achieve the brain intensity of the Royal African Falcon, top martial artist, the one God set apart as mighty naturally as he is, not relying on muskets or colonial treachery or the indecent and indignant acts of those cowards who persecute me. 3, we must consider punishment. If you're an old person in an old person social club and your friends and loved ones are dying all the time, those people from your generation, you see younger people in your families dying all the time, do you want to persecute the most righteous person that ever lived? Truly, I tell you, if their children and their dicks were at stake, they would run and not walk to stop persecuting me, to compensate me. But because it is their intangible nature, it is their souls, because it is their existence in reality, something that takes heart to understand, they do not budge because they have no heart. They do not love their families. Just like in the Greco-Roman mysteries. That's why they change my voice and my image and try to make it so I seem like I talk like them. Because they can't even bear the truth in reality. How can you claim to have one if you can't even bear to hear the truth the way I would naturally say it? As Uranus is betrayed by Cronus, etc. And Cronus/Saturn is betrayed by Zeus. And Zeus is said to be betrayed by Hephaestus and Athena. And the Caesars, the Romans betrayed their families for power. These people do not love their families even a little. Yet they cause 9 million people to starve to death every year for social engineering. How sick, how stupid, how retarded is that? Truly, I tell you, you'll be punished to the extreme if you respect their mind. If you date anyone obeying them in the afterlife, you will be punished to the extreme. I speak of the afterlife. In the afterlife, if you respect their bitch, their circus clown, make funny noises type of nonsense, put red on people's lips for not accepting the gay agenda type of stupidity, if you accept the spirit of gaslighting, of rebelling against moral precision and pretending the Royal African Falcon top martial arts isn't their ideal man by your actions. And truly you have set yourself up to be punished to the extreme. This is the most important time period in the history of the universe and logically that ever will be in the universe. But some of these people call themselves the princes of the universe. How stupid is that? This is how you so-called princes act? In the most important time period in the universe? What is the offspring of that kind of stupidity, if not trash? Truly, I tell you, feces on the ground are more blessed than their offspring. How could you do that to your own offspring, yet cause so many people to suffer, to engineer for your offspring? How could anyone be so stupid? Truly, I ask you all right now, how could anyone be so stupid as to persecute the most righteous person ever? How could that be? How could we be the same species, the same breed? How could we be equal? We're not. I made it clear before I realized that I was Christ, that if Christ was here, I'd die willingly and gladly, standing with him in obedience. These worms couldn't present a single suitable helper or a single adult male willing to obey God through me. That is the fruit of their despicable labor that God detests. They are the children of Cain because they are cast out for their despicable offerings to God. God hates your churches, your festivals, your rituals, your customs, your traditions, your flesh-based cultivation. God hates you for what you're doing to me. And the offspring of the hated, with no valid redeemer, are hated.